Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Monday, April 24th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Special forces in Sudan, bulletproof cars, Charles Barkley's new show, and a conservative boycott is working. That's all coming up. And then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, on Saturday, the president tweeted today, the United States military conducted an operation to extract U.S. government personnel from Khartoum, that's the capital of Sudan, in response to the situation there. It is reported that men in the Navy SEALs and the Army's 3rd Special Forces Group participated in the evacuation of the U.S. Embassy in Sudan. Lieutenant General D.A. Sims, he said U.S. forces lifted off from Djibouti and landed in Ethiopia. The aircraft, including 3 Chinook helicopters, refueled in Ethiopia before flying approximately 3 hours to Khartoum. The evacuation was conducted in one movement via rotary wing. The operation was fast and clean, with service members spending less than an hour on the ground in Khartoum. It's believed there are still 16,000 Americans in Sudan. It's one thing to be in Sudan, but what about cities here in America? This is the sign of our country today. Armor Max is a company that makes bulletproof cars, usually for foreign diplomats. They started making cars for clients in Mexico during all the kidnappings there in the 90s. Then they started making bulletproof cars for clients in Nigeria and South Africa and the Middle East. And now they're filling orders for clients in Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, Las Vegas. The CEO says it's been pretty shocking. I would say it really started about 18 months ago. It used to be politicians and CEOs, almost all international. Now we're bulletproofing Honda Accords. The basic package to bulletproof your car is $38,000. CNN launching a new show featuring Oprah's friend Gayle King and Charles Barkley. It's a weekly 1-hour show. It will launch this fall on Wednesday nights. Charles said, I want the show to be non-political. We don't want to say we're liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat. That's one of the things that's really ruined television in general. We'll see. This might be one of the first conservative boycotts I've seen actually working. The vice president at Bud Light, who decided to have Dylan Mulvaney, that's the 26-year-old male who acts like a 12-year-old girl, do a commercial for them. She's now on a leave of absence after an internal shakeup at the company. Bud Light says the company is taking steps that will help us maintain focus on the things we do best, brewing great beer for all consumers while always making a positive impact in our communities and on our country. Go woke, go broke. You have to make it hurt, conservatives. Stop letting them take you for granted. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. The great Bill O'Reilly is here with your message of the day. Next.
The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped 20%, and this year could be worse. You are right to be worried. So please call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I have been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Monday, I was examining the TV ratings for cable news during the Fox defamation story last week, and they were low. And it surprised me a bit, but when I thought about it, it made sense. So here is the breakdown. Essentially, Fox News viewers don't care about the story because Fox News itself did not cover it. And so the audience level, while not high last week, remained pretty much about the same. So anybody watching Fox News that wanted to hear about the defamation suit by Dominion couldn't because Fox didn't cover it, but the audience didn't care. On the other side, the anti-Fox people, and that's about 95% of the corporate media, they went wild. You heard them. And they wanted blood in the streets of the Fox precincts. And when the settlement came, they were terribly disappointed that they couldn't put the Fox people through a legal piñata. Well, the liberal viewers on MSNBC and CNN didn't show up. So what does this tell us? It says that Americans on both the right and the left don't really care about media stories. Doesn't pertain to their lives. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Gus Pullen, Houston, Texas. I've watched you since Inside Edition, Bill, and you have the best news program anywhere. I'd like to hear more about Ukraine. I can't see anything but Russia winning. Russia isn't winning. All right, Russia is getting its butt kicked economically. In fact, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal that said Russian millionaires have declined half. Believe me, the oligarchs over there are furious. You got to be patient here, but Putin is not winning, and he deserves to lose. Bradley Rayfield, Apache Junction, Arizona. Why are so many people in the USA so obsessed with promoting gay and transgender people? Because they see them as underdogs, and the left in particular loves the underdog, and then is virtue signaling to try to help them. That's what this is all about. Suzanne Stemler, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Would you please tell us where we can read Victor Davis Hanson's column? Now, Suzanne, this is for you, but for everybody. All you have to do, and even I know this, and I am the most internet illiterate person on the earth. All you have to do is type in Victor Davis Hanson on Google, hit the little thing, and he will pop up, and his columns will pop up or anything about him. So it's so easy now. It's one of the advantages of the machine. Catherine, it's frustrating to live in a world where so many have bad manners. This weekend, I noticed something. There were many well-educated individuals who have no political concerns whatsoever. They're totally oblivious to what's happening. Absolutely. It's not a matter of poor or rich. It's a matter of me, 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 me. If you're a narcissist, you don't care about anything else. In a moment, something you might not know.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention veterans, active duty military, civilians, and contractors. If you were issued earplugs between 1999 and 2015 and were diagnosed with hearing loss or ringing in the ears, you may be entitled to compensation. The manufacturer of these military earplugs recently paid $9.1 million to resolve claims that their earplugs were defective, potentially exposing service members to damaging sound levels that could have resulted in hearing loss or tinnitus. If you or a loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss, don't wait. You fought for this country, and our attorneys want to fight for you. Call 800-687-1936 now for a free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. So call 800-687-1936 now. Again, 800-687-1936. That's 800-687-1936.
Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. On this day in the year 1184 BC, the city-state of Troy fell to Greek invaders. After 10 years of brutal warfare, the conflict ended with one of the greatest acts of military deception in history. Here is the story of the Trojan Horse. According to the ancient poet Homer, the Trojan War was a major conflict between Greece and the powerful city-state of Troy. The entire conflict began as a lover's quarrel. A fragile peace between the two entities fell apart when the Prince of Troy kidnapped Helen, the king of Sparta's wife. Uh-oh. After assembling a massive navy to bring the lady back, the Greeks descended on Troy. The invaders besieged the heavily fortified city but were unable to break through its defenses. That siege raged on for more than 10 years, if you can believe it. Frustrated by the stalemate, the Spartans finally devised a secret plan to sneak soldiers into the city of Troy. Using wood from a tree grove sacred to the god Apollo, the Greeks crafted a giant hollow horse with the following inscription, quote, "We dedicate this offering to Athena for our safe return home," unquote. Well, hidden inside the hull of the wooden horse were 50 elite Greek soldiers. They waited until midnight to emerge. The soldiers then killed dozens of guards and opened the city gates. Troy was defeated. Thousands of men, women, and children slaughtered. The Trojans who survived were enslaved. Helen was ferried back to Greece and returned to her husband. And here's something else you might not know. Today, thousands of tourists flock to a small town in western Turkey called Çanakkale, a site historians believe is the ruins of Troy. Visitors can tour ancient temples, walk city streets, even climb inside a 65-foot wooden replica of the Trojan Horse. Back after this. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.